How many salespeople do we have in the room here? Can I see a show of hands? Does everybody want to be sold differently? You bet they do. But what do most salespeople do? They take what I call the spray and pray approach to sales. You know what I mean? Pretty much do the same presentation for everybody, and you will hit the people, but your impact is lessened. What we're going to be talking about is finding out how are people wired up. Incidentally, the things we're going to be talking about today, most of my examples will be in a business context, but does this same information work in any personal relationship? You bet it does. You need to find out what do people want and how do they want it. We're going to be talking about what I call the diamond rule, which is uniquely discover people's desires and then give it to them, if possible, with your products, services, and ideas. Incidentally, can you always give them what they want and how they want it? No. But when do you want to find that out? Early or late? Early. When do we usually find it out? Late. Too late. In fact, what has happened? There's been an upset, hasn't there? Because you're playing the same game with two different sets of rules. So you got to be good at getting people into an emotional state. You become connected to it, and their liking, trust, and rapport is there. That connection is there. They feel that you really care about them. You suggest something, what do they say a lot? Yes. They'll just say yes, and you don't have to push people. If you're pushing people, what happens when you push people, by the way? They're going to do one of three things. Number one, they might what? Push back. You've been in that situation. Maybe subtle or not so subtle ways. Other people, when they feel pressure like they're feeling pushed, what will they do? Put a wall around them. You're exactly right. They'll shut down, and you just can't get any information from them. Other people, when you start pushing them, they will fall over and push them right out the door, either literally or figuratively. Absolutely. So you don't want to push people, and that's the power, and I think that's the value of what we're talking about today. You're not pushing people. You're a psychologist. You're discovering people. What do they want, and how do they want it? And then if you can give it to them with your product, service, or idea, if you're a leader, now you have a connection. Now people will want to do things. If you haven't done your job up front, none of this is going to happen. So they develop rapport. They put people into state. You get connected with that. So understanding, number one, when it comes to the diamond touch is, when it comes right down to it, people want emotions. They want feelings. The second understanding is that values are the emotions that people want most. Values are the emotions that people want most. Different people value different emotions differently. We're all wired up differently. That's why I often say you got to understand how somebody is wired up first. Let me give you an example of this.